1, 2, 3, 4.
Wanna hear you go.
Hello, and welcome back to the AI Cafe Conversations. This is the Forbes article Like Friday on AI Cafe Conversation. This is Sahar Andradi, your AI whisperer, and today is the season 3 finale. I have spent 12 episodes teaching you about and sharing with you about nervous system regulation, about why leaders freeze under AI disruption, and how to build psychological safety, about why 70% of transformations fail. I have taught you about the human advantage, contextual judgment, relational trust, and adaptive creativity. I have shown you what the top 1% know, that intelligence is a commodity and instructional logic is the new competitive edge. Here is what I didn't tell you. The truth is that I was terrified to say while I was creating season 3. The kind of truth that has vulnerability that makes my nervous system scream, hey, don't say it out loud. You don't have to say it. But after 12 episodes teaching regulated leadership, I realized something. If I can't be vulnerable about this, I'm performing just like the executives I'm calling out. So here it is, the truth that emerged while creating season 3. So let's go. Let me share it with you. 2025 was actually a very hard year on me. I woke up one day and the whole industry I was working on just disappeared overnight. So I had my identity kind of tight to what I was doing. So 2025 kind of broke me in ways I didn't see even coming. I was operating on a survival mode quietly, not knowing that I'm just pushing and pushing and pushing. I had built a very successful business, and one day, silence. What followed the strategy of that? It was grief. I questioned myself in ways I hadn't in years. I recalibrated, I stood up, fell again more than once. I rebranded 3 times, trying to find my footing, trying to recognize myself again. At one point, I really felt I had lost my identity. But I was still serving my clients. I was still doing what I was supposed to do. So I was just looking for a permission to exist. And then I realized I was just pushing out of survival, out of fear. That's why the rebranding were not working because I was short sighted. I could not do the right decisions. While I was telling leaders they need to recalibrate and regulate their nervous system, I was doing exactly the opposite. And that was a come to truth moment where I said, I cannot preach what I don't do. So I made a full stop and I tried to breathe, to ground myself, to get my power back. And this is when I realized I need to practice what I have been preaching. And I did, step by step. And it's not that I was being unauthentic. I was, in my mind, I was serving my clients the best way I can, even when I was broken. But I also realized that I cannot give from an empty vessel and I cannot give what I don't have. And that's when I started realizing what is it that I need to do. Trust myself and keep building step by step, regulating my nervous system, have compassion to myself, have clarity, and start strategizing. Also with AI, it helped me a lot in regrouping, in rebranding, in getting results really fast that I could not do before. That's why I wanted to share this actual truth with you before I went forward. If not, I wouldn't have been okay with it. So, and I was terrified actually to tell you that because I was teaching nervous system regulation while my own nervous system was dysregulated. I didn't believe my own frameworks would work until I had to use them on myself. I was performing confidence about AI leadership while privately terrified I was becoming obsolete. The episode that performed worst were the ones when I was trying hardest to sound like it's for sure. So I just wanted to share that. And that's what I was terrified to say it. Because consultants are not supposed to admit uncertainty. We are supposed to have the answers. We are supposed to be 3 steps ahead. That's what executives pay for, right? Certainty, expertise, the person who knows. And here is what I learned creating 13 episodes that became my truth. The moments I tried to perform expertise, those episodes felt hollow. The moments I showed up honestly, vulnerable, uncertain, figuring it out in real time, those episodes connected. In some episodes, I felt I'm authentic. And these are the ones that actually had the highest downloads. Thank you for supporting me no matter what. I really appreciate that. I was surprised in some because I thought they would fail, but it resonated. We are all come from the background and the area and the thought of if you are a consultant, if you are a leader, you should always show strength. That weakness or vulnerability, and I'm not going to call that weakness, but vulnerability and moments of doubts and moment of recalibration are not supposed to happen. But let me tell you something. This is what makes us today. This is what's making me strong today. This is what's giving me more clarity on how to help leaders because I'm not just preaching. I went through it. I carried that experience from my inside. I went through it step by step. You cannot get more authentic than that. And I really do believe in that. From every breakdown, there is a breakthrough. From every crisis, there is a calling. From every scrambling and scrapping comes strength. And I believe in that. And this is what I'm feeling now. Going through this episode also taught me what I needed to learn, what I was lacking, what I will do from now on, and what I will never do from now on. And that's terrifying for a consultant to admit. But our entire business model is built on I know something you don't. But if the real value isn't knowing, what if it's being honest about what you are all figuring out together? So here is what happened while I was creating season 3. My nervous system went through everything I was teaching you about. I taught leaders why they freeze. That week, I froze trying to put a highly converting landing page online. I taught psychological safety that month. I realized I wasn't created for myself and my own team. On episode 8, I taught human advantage, but I was still trying to outwork AI instead of building the capabilities I was teaching. So this is why I'm doing this podcast. And I'm doing it from the heart. And I started it from scratch and by myself. And because I wanted to build something authentic, I wanted to build something of value. And I hope you can see that. I hope I'm helping you even in 1 or 2% of what you do. As you can see, my podcast doesn't have any advertising, doesn't have any sponsorship because I just want to share knowledge. I want to share experiences, including the good, the bad, and ugly of experiences that I go through. And here is the pattern that emerged. I was teaching one thing in this season while living another. Not because I was hypocritical, just because teaching forced me to see where I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. The episodes that landed the hardest with the audience, those were the ones that landed hardest on me first. Like, for example, episode 5, where 70% fail, what did that make you realize about your own practice? Episode 11, the shedding. What did you need to shed? And I was asking myself these questions. So I want you to ask these questions to yourself. Which framework did you have to actually use before you could teach it authentically? What principle, what guideline you need to go through before you teach it and share it with your team? Creating season 3 didn't just teach you, my audience, about AI leadership. It forced me to actually become the regulated leader I was teaching about. And let me tell you, I'm having the chills saying that. That was humbling. And here's the truth no consultant will admit out loud. We are figuring this out too. AI is so new. We are all figuring it out. There is no playbook for AI leadership in 2026. There is no certification that prepares you for post labor enterprises or institutional logic or navigating when 40% of middle management comes obsolete overnight. We are all making educated guesses. The difference between consultants and executives isn't what we have the answers. It's what we have seen more patterns of. We have worked with more organizations. We have watched more transformations succeed and fail. But we are learning in real time, just like you are. And here is what I realized creating season 3. The consultants who pretend to have it all figured out, they are performing. And I refuse to be that, even if it's going to cost me. The consultants who admit they are learning alongside you, they are leading. This is where I want to be, or this is where I am today. And that distinction, performing versus leading, that's exactly what I was teaching executive to navigate, which means I had to stop performing expertise and start modeling the vulnerability I was asking them to do. So I want you to really go deep, really go deep. And if you are performing, ask yourself, did I catch myself performing? When did I do that? What conversation with a team member made you realize that you might not have all the answers? How did admitting I don't know, let's figure it out together, change your leadership practice? That's the truth no consultant wants to say. But it feels like it undermines our credibility. But here is what I learned, it's actually what builds trust. So, where I was performing instead of leading during season 3, like I said, I was performing certainty and confidence, and I have got this handled. I believe I better handle now and today than I had it maybe a month ago. I know where I am and I'm grounded today. What's true for you? This is when season 3, for me, became something different. Not a performance of expertise, but an honest documentation of what it looks like to lead through uncertainty. And that's what I want you to take from season 3. Okay, and here is the what I want to leave you with. The revelation that emerged creating season 3. 2026 is not about AI. It's about whether you are willing to stop performing and start being honest. Because AI is the ultimate performance detector. It exposes when you're faking strategic thinking, when you are pretending to have answers you don't have, when you are performing leadership instead of actually leading. And here is what I realized. Every executive I worked with who succeeded in 2025, they stopped performing first. The CEO who said, I don't know how to navigate this quarter, let's figure it out together, engagement up 40%. The exec who said, my expertise has an expiration date, he questioned that, credibility up. The leaders who admitted uncertainty, modeled vulnerability, stopped pretending, those are the ones who build trust in an age where deepfakes and AI make everything else performable. And here is my challenge for you or to you. What are you still performing? What persona are you maintaining because you think that's what leadership looks like? What expertise are you pretending to have because admitting uncertainty feels too risky? What are you doing or where are you doing what I did, teaching one thing while living another? Because 2026 will expose all of us, not to punish us, but to free us. The executives who figure this out first, they will be the ones who thrive. Not because they have all the answers, but because they stop pretending they do. This is the season 3 finale. We have covered 13 episodes: foundation, obstacles, advantage, patterns, truth. And here is what I learned creating it. Teaching you forced me to become it. And maybe that's the point. Maybe the leaders who succeed in 2026 are not the ones who already have it figured it out. Maybe they are the ones who are honest enough to admit they are figuring it out in real time, just like I did with season 3. So here is what I'm asking you. Stop performing, start being honest, stop pretending you have all the answers, start admitting what you're learning, stop protecting the persona, start showing up as the human who's navigating this alongside everyone else. That's regulated leadership. That's what AI cannot replace. That's what 2026 actually requires. Season 3 is complete. Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me figure out this with you. Season 4 begins next week, and it's going to be different because I am different now. If season 3 resonated with you, if any of this landed, here is what I'm asking you to do. Don't just listen, act. Take my leadership guide. The link will be in the description. Take my free Shadow AI assessment. Again, the link is in the description. Book a 15-minute free strategy call. My Calendly link will be in the description. Because we are all figuring this out together, but some of us have seen more pattern than others. And I can show you what I have learned, not as the expert who has all the answers, but as someone who has walked this path and is willing to be honest about what works and what doesn't. That's the truth. That's the season 3 finale. I'm Sahar Andrade, your AI whisperer. It has been kind of a heavy episode for me to share, but I feel a lot lighter now. This is AI Café Conversations, and season 4 begins next Wednesday. See you there. Before I leave, I want you to show me some love. Share, like, create, subscribe. Email me at sahar@saharconsulting.com. You can reach me on LinkedIn, Sahar Andrade, on Instagram, Sahar the Reinvent Coach. Till I see you next time in season 4, give me your thoughts. I would love to hear them.
1, 2, 3, 4.